Good morning, everyone. This is Evelyn of Evelyn's Creations, your international fashion designer, best known for building an empire sewing with a Walmart sewing machine. I like to stop in today to talk about your name, the name of your business. I see a lot of people that I'm assisting having a struggle with the name of their business. Okay, I want you to be serious but simple. Okay, meaning serious, meaning just get the name, let's get started. And simple, meaning don't overthink it. Okay, now when you choose a name for your company or your name for your business, think global, think international. You know, when I say something that's serious, I repeat it. Think global, think international. Do not put yourself in a small hole where it's targeting on one item. For instance, when I started my business, I called my business Orlando's Finest Fashions. That was my business name 40 years ago. Orlando's Finest Fashions. When I went to New York and I started selling my items wholesale at the Jacob Jarvis Center, downtown New York, and I was with hundreds and hundreds of business owners wholesaling, it didn't take me but a second to know that my name was the wrong name. When I was in Jacob Jarvis Center, which I used to sell in Jacob Jarvis Center 4 times a year, there were people who had great names, who had names that looked like, oh, wow, I want to see what they have. Okay. When I looked at my name limited me to Orlando, Florida. Now, Orlando, Florida is known, and nobody can ever outdo this. Orlando, Florida is known for Disney, Mickey Mouse, children, vacation. My name was not going to stand out for Orlando's Finest Fashions because, first of all, Orlando is not a fashion capital. Orlando is not a place where you would think, I'm going to go there and go shopping. When you hear New York, I'm going to go shopping. When you hear LA, I'm going to go shopping. But you don't feel that for international designer in Orlando. So I quickly came back and I was inspired by Lumna, which is in New York. Hi, Lumna. I was inspired by Lumna because her name was Lumna Creations. Anyone can take creations because it's not limited to one person. And I realized that I was a very creative person and it fit me. So I changed my company name, changed my license and everything to Evelyn's Creations. Because when I was overseas, it was international. It was not a thing where I was going to be limited to a city. Where when I'm international, nobody knew who Orlando was. They didn't even know Florida. Okay? So why you should make a name that is bigger than your thought process right now. Don't make the name a name where people got to figure it out. Hang in there with me. Okay, when you go to Sears, remember Sears and Roebuck? Remember Sears Company? If you're old enough to know Sears before they went out of business, they're still online. When you went to Sears, you knew that Sears had everything, whether it was appliances, clothing, hats. They used to sell some beautiful hats for women. Okay, Sears had an international name. It had an international cause. When you went to Sears, you just would go down the line and you would click on the icons of what you wanted to buy from Sears. The same thing with Lowe's or JCPenney's or Walmart. You know, if you go to if someone asks you, what does Walmart have? What does Lowe's have? What does Penny's have? If you looked at those companies and you say everything, then make your small business now everything. Don't make your business name a name where you got to figure it out like it's a puzzle. Nobody's going to have time to do that. And take this respectfully, okay? If someone got to think about what your business name is, then they're more than likely going to go to a business name that speaks to them. So if your business name puts you in a box, say like, I do hats, I do art, I do sewing, I do embroidery, I can do miniature quilts, not the fine quilts, but I can do a multiple of things under creations. I do alterations. I advise, I teach, I coach. Okay? So when you're thinking of your name, think of your name bigger than who you are. Now I'm going to go to why you should do that. Okay? Say, for instance, if you have a fashion industry, if you put your name, your business name with your name in it, that means you have credibility. All of the major businesses that are still going on today is part of their name. So they're held accountable. Sam's, a wholesale store. Sam Walton. Okay? Sam's, I'm going to Sam's. When you go to Sam's, you know you're going to buy bulk. You know you're going to save money. You know you're going to get a good deal, discounts. You know you're going to spend over $100 because you're going to be buying for the month or the 6 months or 2 months or however you partner with someone to buy. Sam Walter, Walmart is part of his name. Sears, Mr. Sears. Penny's, Mr. Penny. All those names are names that were part of the owner's name to give longevity and to give credibility. Okay? So when you put your name part of it, you're more than likely going to be able to be approved by fictitious names when you decide on what your name is going to be. Now, let's go back to the beginning of the name. When you get in the beginning of when you're thinking of your name, look at your project, look at your product. Okay? So if you say, like right now, we're on a pillow talk, right? Everybody's making pillows. You can sell a pillow. You can sell a pillow for $20 with a heartbeat. You can make pillows to be your income this month or your income all year. But do you want your business name to be called Pillow? The only reason I would say your name should be Pillow is if you are a major manufacturer in making pillows and you're going to sell them to multiple companies like Sereta, like all these pillow companies. If you're making designer pillows, I wouldn't name my business Pillow. And the reason being is because it limits you. When everybody think of you, they think of you as the pillow lady or the pillow man. So you don't want to put yourself in such a small entity of so many things that you can make when it comes to making money. You can put crafts or you could put something like, instead of saying pillow, you could say essentials. You can put your name Evelyn's Essentials because a pillow is essential. Try going to sleep without a pillow. You're going to be looking for a pillow. In fact, if you go to Africa, they only give you one pillow per bed. You be like, what other pillow? I need 2 pillows. Need one to go on my side, one on my bed, one on my legs. I need all that. But being serious, when you name your business with longevity. Name your business where it doesn't put you in one type of framework. Because remember this, they say a man thinketh one way, a woman thinketh 100 ways. A man thinketh one way, a woman thinketh of 100 ways. Now, when you get into your business, it's for both. Men and women think of 100 ways because there's hundreds and hundreds of ways that you can make money. So what I'm saying today is, all those who are struggling with the name, keep it basic, keep it real, and keep it where it can expand to so many things that you can do, and you won't have to do what I did. Change my name. Now my name been the same for 35 years. But believe it or not, there are people still call me by my original name because they just say, that's Miss Orlando's Finest Fashions. And I was like, I haven't had that name in 35 years. I've been in business 40 years. So Change up your thought process. Think bigger when it comes to your name. Think global. In other words, think like this. Do you want a little bag of money? Or do you want a big old, as much as you can get? And if you think like that, that will change your mindset to think of something that's larger, that can hold all of that, that can hold every item that you can do, because everybody is have multiple talents. When you start working on this talent, another talent gonna open. When you start working on that talent, another talent gonna open. And it just, then you got to categories. You got to put your talents in different filing cabinets in your head to say, which one am I going to work on today? Which one am I going to work on tomorrow? Which one takes more time? Which one brings more profit? Okay, so think of global. Don't think like, well, I'll just open another business. You don't have time for that. Life is happening so fast that when you make your name, I would suggest stick with it, but make sure it's something that's bigger than what you can think of right now, like enterprises or global or designs, or even if you're a chef, even listen to this. When you go down the highway, you see all these tractor trailer trucks, right? Most of them now say logistics. They say logistics because that means they can haul all kind of stuff. International, local, overnight, cross country. So all the companies that are succeeding right now, they are thinking international, global with their business names. So you'll see a lot of companies, Brown's Logistics, Sam's Logistics, John's Logistics. That means that they don't want to put themselves in a small category and it stays there, and they cannot, if somebody said logistics, and they say, well, I want a freight company that can go from overseas or go around the world. So if they put local, then they say, oh no, that's not the company for me. I want somebody to go local. And then you call that company, they'll say, oh yeah, we do international, or we do such and such. We can stay overnight. When people look at your name, they will not call you to ask you, do you do anything other than what your card says? Now, if you have a name that you like, lastly, I'm going to say this before I go. If you have a name that you like and you don't want to put a into it, like if you say your name is Patty's, you can put underneath there a subtitle. Your complete one-stop shop for fashion designs and custom wear. Okay? If you put your name as Patty's Custom Wear, well, most people are going to think you only do custom work. Now, custom work basically is less money than overall work. And I'm going to tell you why. When you just do custom work and when you just got to measure and put everything exactly like it is, that person is going to have to stay with you longer, and then you can only charge so much for that item. But like this little blouse that I whipped up this morning and made, this little top that I made right here, this can fit multiple sizes. Okay? It's not custom. It's just a top that I made, and it can fit multiple sizes. So when you say custom, that limits you to somebody who wanted to scale. But listen, when you sit down, your stomach poke out. When you stand up, your stomach hopefully come in. When you stretch, you need range of motion. Okay? So when you just say, I do custom work, and usually you can do custom work can be anywhere from $2,000 to $3,000 to $4,000. But you're married to that outfit until that person is completely satisfied. And when you can do range of motion garments or range of motion items, you can make more money and spend less time and just be whipping out. Okay? So be even though you do custom, it could be in your subtitle, I also do custom work. Custom work is available. And really charge for custom work, because when you charge for custom work, that person really won't waste your time. And most of the time when you do custom work, you got to do at least 75% of that total. Otherwise, you start losing money. So the moral of the story is, do not spend a lot of time on making your name where only you know what it means. If you're the only one know what that name means, or you're the only one that can figure that name out, that's a bad name. That, when I say bad, not bad as in good, that's a name that's only you're going to figure out. So have a name that's going to take you to where you want to be. If you're in this game to really make money and to supplement your income, you know, if you really want to retire and do what you like to do or do what you love to do, don't get caught up on the name. And then people will speak for you. They'll say, "Oh yeah, she makes Christmas wreaths. Today I'm making Christmas ornaments. That's what's hot for today. Saturday I'm gonna be back on pillows. That's what's hot for Saturday. The guy brought a pillow. Now everybody want pillows. So I'm gonna go to the store and get some more pillow stuffing." Okay. So when you set your title, make sure that when people come to you, they say, "Man, that girl do everything." What you mean she do everything? She can do this, she can do that, she can hem your pants, she can alterate you so a button on, she will what you need. And then the degree of it, I will take that and I'll take it to the bank. Take your name to the bank. Take your name to the bank. Take your name to where you want to be. If you can make $5 sewing 2 minutes on a button, make $5. If you can make $100 making a couple of pillows, make $100. If you can make, say, $500 doing something custom, make sure you got the time to do it. Because custom is time. You got to go to bed. You got to marry that outfit for a length of the time. They got to be on time. They got to be in it. All right? So take your name. Take it simple, but take it longevity. All right? And then do a subtitle. Like if you have Evelyn's Designs. And then you can put arts, crafts, sewing, alterations. You can put that as a subtitle under your name. And that way when you print your business cards, they can look at everything else that you do. Okay, so don't try to put it as a question or as a joke. Really don't put your name as a joke. If you put your name as a joke, like if you put your name to say something and somebody got to figure it out, guess who the joke's going to be on? It's going to be on you. And the object of this channel is to have your business to expand and to grow and to thrive. Now, I'm going to tell you about myself. You can take me as a teacher or as a coach. I'm more of a coach than a teacher. A teacher teaches you how to assess what is going on or assess how things are being made or to help you understand why things are the way they are or why they seem to be the way they appear. That's what a teacher does. Teachers are so important. But a coach is going to teach you how to win. Teach you how to excel, teach you how to get where you want to be. Okay? So I am a coach. And if I offend someone by teaching, then I'm not going to teach you but a little time because you're already there. When you come on this channel, you're already there. Now it's time to be coached to where you want to be. And that, my friend, is Evelyn of Evelyn's Creations. Thank you for popping in this morning. Tomorrow night, we will have our coaching from 8:30 until, I've been saying 8:30 to 9:30, but it's been going a long time now. Have a wonderful day. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.